Hi everyone and welcome. I'm Ann bringing you the homeschooling lifestyle, and today I'm going to share with you a game that we enjoy playing. This game is called Ecosystem. It is by Genius Games. It is a game recommended for players 14 and older. I don't agree with that at all. It's a recommendation, not a law. 2 to 6 players, and the game lasts 15 to 20 minutes. So let's see what's in the box. This is a game where it's a card game, and there are lots of little tiny cards. We keep score on this pad where all the players go on one scorecard. And then each player gets one of these cards, which tells you the relationships between each of the animals or habitats featured on these cards. So in these cards, I should have pre-sorted these. On these cards, we've got a deer. So this card tells us that the deer, each row and column with one or more deer scores 2 points. So the way we play this game is, here are the rules. You got front. This is how the play goes. This just talks about the different cards. So you've got 2 rounds in this game. You play a round, total up the points, set aside all the cards, and then play the second round. So at the beginning of the round, each player gets 10 cards. They're a little tricky to shuffle because they're so tiny. Let's see what we can do. This is a card trading game too. If you're familiar with Sushi Go, where you're trading cards, this is similar to that. So if there's just 2 of us, eight, 9, 10. We each start out with 10. And so I'm going to look through my 10 cards. I'll just lay them out here so you can see what I'm looking at. Okay, so I've got 2 rivers. I've got a bass, a meadow, a dragonfly, 2 bears, 2 dragonflies, an eagle, and a bee. And this is where the more you play this game, the more familiar you're going to be with the relationships between these cards to help you better create a habitat. Because what we were going to do is I'm going to choose which card to keep, and I'm going to lay it on the table, and ultimately I'm going to create a table with 4 rows of 5 cards, and I want to lay it out in the best strategy that I can create to get the most points. So let's say I keep the bees. And I stack all these back up, and I trade them to the other player. And they give me the 9 that they have left until I lay all their cards out. And bees tend to go by bears because of honey. And then I trade. They kept 1. I get this stack. And now I'm going to do another bear. Stay with the theme. So you just keep trading back and forth until, I'm going to put a trout next to the bear because bears eat trout. So let's say I've got all these. So then I'm going to put the trout next to the river, and I'm going to add to the river. And then I'm going to put a dragonfly next to the water because there's always dragonflies by the water. And the wolf, I don't know what I'm going to do. So I'm going to put that one down there. And then this is the meadow. So I'll put the meadow there. So we've done that with the first 10 that were dealt out, and then we deal out the second 10. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And so now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to sort out the cards to keep and then swap them back and forth until we get through the whole pile. So as I'm going along here, let's work with me. I've got another meadow. Here's another wolf. Oh, here's a deer. Deer like, I don't want to put the deer next to the wolf. Here's another river, but I've filled in all these. Oh, I could go over here. I'll put the river next to the bear. I'll put the dragonfly there. Here's another deer. I'm going to put the deer in a separate row. I think that that's a good strategy. Ooh, here's an eagle. I don't think I've got anything to put the eagle next to. Another bear, a fox, and a trout. So I've got my 4 rows of 5. So now is when we start adding up points. So each card or combinations of cards is going to give us points. So for the fox scores 3 points as long as it is not adjacent to a wolf or a bear. My fox is next to a bear, no points, bugger. Deer, each row and column with 1 or more deer scores 2 points. So I have a deer here, so that's 2 points. I have a deer here, that's 2 points. And then I get 2 for going that way and 2 for going that way. So I get 2, 4, 6, 8 points for there. And I'm going to record them on the paper. The bear scores 2 points for each adjacent trout and bee. So this bear gets 2 for this bee. This bear gets 2 for this bee. That's 4. And then this bear gets 2 for this trout. That's 6. And this bear gets 2 for this trout. So that's 8. I'm doing well. I've got 8 for the deer and 8 for the bear. The eagle scores 2 points for each trout and rabbit within 2 spaces. So here's my eagle. I don't have any rabbits, but I have a trout. So the eagle gets 2 points. I'm up to 18. The bee scores 3 points for each adjacent meadow. There's the bee. The meadows are down here. No points. Bugger. Meadow. Each set of adjacent meadows scores 0, 3, 6, 10, or 15 points for 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 or more meadows. So I have 2 meadows adjacent, so I score 3 points. I'm at 21. You following me? It's a lot of math. So, but it's all about the relationships, because we've created an ecosystem. I've created a number of habitats and a number of animals that all live in the same ecosystem. So we're looking at their relationships, who eats who, who's compatible to who, and that's where we score the points. So the trout scores 2 points for each adjacent stream and dragonfly. This trout has no dragonflies or streams. This trout has 1 stream. This dragonfly doesn't count because it's diagonal. So I get 1 point for that. I'm at 22. And the rabbit, I didn't have any rabbits. So the stream, the player with the most adjacent streams scores 8 points, and the second most scores 5 points. So if I had other players, they would have had to get more than 3 streams next to each other to get the 8 points. So I'm going to give myself the 8 points. That puts me at 29. And then the wolf, the player with the most wolves scores 12 points, second most 8 points, and third most 4 points. So the stream and the wolves were comparing to the other players to award the points. So I had 2 wolves. So that would have given me some points. And the final way on points is where it talks about diversity. And the card says players benefit from having more diverse ecosystems and incur negative points for having too many non-scoring card types. So I had no rabbits. So I didn't get any points for rabbits, and I had no, there was something else that I didn't score any points on. The bear, I didn't score any points on the bear. So I had no points for the bear and no points for the rabbit. And so I had 2 zeros. Oh, so I don't lose any points. If I'd had 4 zeros, then I would have lost 2 points. So you want to have a diverse and point scoring ecosystem. Does that make sense? There's a lot. In some ways it's very simple, but it takes a while. I think the hardest part about this game that will get easier the more we play it is learning the relationships between the cards, between the streams and the dragonflies and the trouts and the bears and the bees, and just how they all are interrelated with each other, which is how an ecosystem is. This is a North American based animal ecosystem. I was a little bit disappointed that there wasn't one based in Australia, but Australia lacks the primary predators. So it makes sense that we don't have an ecosystem game for Australia, unfortunately. But this is a really good learning game about the ecosystem. It's got a great maths in it. It's got great strategy thinking in it. Just a really, really good, fun game. Have you played Ecosystem? I would love to hear what you think of Ecosystem in the comments below. So please do let me know. Did you enjoy the review? Did I do a good job? Did I answer your questions? It's tricky because I don't want to drag it out into the full length of the game, but I'm trying to just give you an overview of the game. So if you have any comments about that, I'd appreciate them below. And I want to thank you for joining me today, and I will see you next time.